Hello. I wanted to talk today about three-card spreads. And a lot of people ask me, what's a good spread to learn to start with? And I think if you want to learn the tarot cards, learn the three-card spread. You could do professional readings just doing the three-card spread if you want. And there's ways to do that, and I'll show you. I'm going to have a camera showing on the table here, doing some samples of the three-card spread. I'll be using the Marseilles, and I'll also using the Rider with some different examples. Also, three-card spread, a lot of people think it's just a boring spread because it's just past, present, and future. But you don't have to keep it that way. You could look at all sorts of different aspects of a question. You're not just limited to past, present, and future. And there's different ways to look at the past, the present, and the future too, as far as what opportunities you have, what can you use in the past that would be helpful, what are you doing right now in the present. And so there's all sorts of different ways you could look at that. But it works out real nice. And the three-card, what's nice about the three-card is it teaches you how to connect cards together to make a message of importance, something that has value to the client in the reading. Now you're connecting these cards together. And if you can connect three cards together, you could do any spread. So if you could do a good three-card where you're actually connecting these three cards to make a message, you could do any spread. You could do a cross, 10 cards there, a gypsy spread, whether it's 21 or 7, depends on the spread, on the gypsy spread, and horseshoe spread, any horoscope spread. It doesn't make any difference because what you'll be doing in the reading is connecting position 3 with position 7 because that looks good and meaningful for this question, or position 5 with position 4. Position 6 with position 9, you'll be doing that. And so be able to connect the cards is what really shows some type of meaning, because otherwise you're just looking at individual meanings of the cards. That's nice, but to look at them working together really, I think, is what shows you some type of way of reading the actual reading itself that makes more sense. And it puts more meaning in the spread, and and they do connect very nicely, tarot cards, and you can get very good at doing that. I also like the three-card because I think, like I said, you could do pro readings just using three-card spread, and you can make it a three-dimensional three-card too, which is, I like to do a lot of that, where I'll throw three cards over, read, go over, just glancing over the three to make a message, and then I'll go into each one in more detail and how they work with each other. And then I'll throw over another three cards on top of those first three and read those three the same way. And then maybe another three on top of them. And what you can do is you can look underneath the cards to see how they act with each other too. So now the three-card becomes a three-dimensional type of spread. And you'll start to see how they interact with each other. And that's the whole thing about doing readings, is you're getting one card to interact with another to make some type of a message and how this is working. That's when you're reading the spread. And that's how you learn how to read those cards in a way that works out very nicely. Three-card spread allows you to do that very easily. Getting one card to connect with the other, and then those two cards connecting with the third. And like I said, you could do pro readings with the three-card. As long as people see cards getting thrown on the table, they don't care how they're laid out. So you want to throw three cards over at a time, read them, throw another three cards on top of them, read them, look back at the first three underneath them, throw another three on top of them. it works out really nice. So that's what we'll be looking into. So 3-card spread with the Marseille and with the Rider. It makes no difference what deck you're using. If you're using a Greer deck or a Sacred Rose or a Thoth, any one of the newer decks, that's fine too. We're talking more about the application here than the actual cards. So, we'll get started. Okay, here we are. We're going to use 2 decks. First I'm going to use the Rider deck, and then I'm going to use the Marseille. And again, usually I'll start out by saying how are we going to accomplish this goal. That's when I start out by asking the client their question. And as they're telling me their question, I have them cut the cards into 3 packs for me. Like that. They're telling me their question, I'm turning over the top card of each pack, and I'm trying to decide which card seems the most appropriate for their question. I'm going to take the Queen of Swords here. Well, again, our question is always going to be the same on these YouTubes, is how are we going to accomplish our goal? How are we going to try to get where we're going, where we want to go? How are we going to get there? So, Queen becomes the first card, position 1, 3-card spread. Patience, action needs to be taken with the Knight and the 3 of Swords. So what you got going for you is you have patience on this. You have a good situation as far as you have a good understanding of what you're trying to deal with here. Queens are patience. Queens are also understanding. So you know what you're dealing with. That you got going for you. Try to have patience with the situation. Don't be easily discouraged. Don't give up on things so easily. I do see as you move forward with things, start taking action on stuff. Start trying to make things happen. Take initiative. Because as you start to do that, you're going to find other options come up to you. They open up. 3s are creative. And I see new ideas coming to you because of the actions you're taking. So to persevere, Queen is somebody who sticks with her ideas, doesn't let other people sway her, and so stay with what you know. What you're trying to do makes sense. It works. If you persevere on it, if you take initiative, you're going to find you have all sorts of options that you didn't see before. That'll help. Queens are patience, Knights are action, 3s are creative ideas, creativity. Now a lot of people say the 3 of Swords in the Rider deck, and a lot of decks that copied the Rider deck afterwards doesn't look too creative. It all depends what you're getting creative about. I'll use the analogy, if you were going through a divorce right now, you have to sit down at the kitchen table with that spouse and decide who's going to get what, and how are we going to make where everybody's happy, and we're going to get through this in a decent way. That's a creative situation. That's a conversation that nobody really wants to have. It can be painful, but you got to get creative. So yeah, sometimes creative ideas, the need to get creative, sometimes isn't a pleasant one. On this particular situation, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but because 3s are just creative. This is just one aspect of creativity, and is showing an unpleasant one. But with this situation, I'm not seeing it that way. I'm just seeing it. You understand what you're doing. Start taking action on things. As you start taking action, other opportunities are going to come your way. New ideas are going to come your way. You got to feel your way through this is basically what it comes out to. Take action, feel your way through it, and new ideas will come your way. Now, like I said, what's nice about the 3 card is you can lay cards on top of each other, and you make like a 3-dimensional 3-card spread. So 5s are change. Changes are putting you in a stronger position as you make these changes from the Knight. And again, another creative. Empress is creativity too. Three of Swords, creative. Empress is creative. Real strong message for being, you're going to see all sorts of opportunities coming your way you're not seeing yet. Take the initiative of this night. Make some changes. You're going to put yourself in a stronger position if you do. And all sorts of new ideas that you haven't even seen yet will come up. Opportunities that you didn't see yet that's going to help you achieve what you're trying to achieve. Going to put you in a closer space to where you want to be. This choice you have to make. You're going to be able to make choices that once you start taking action with that night. Choices will be made, allowing you to take on things that you might have been leery about taking on before. Devil's false fears, procrastination, self-denial. Maybe there were certain things you were closing your eyes to. These two creative cards over here show me as time goes on, you're going to be aware of things you weren't aware of before. This might be something to do with you that you haven't really been looking at before, or maybe refused to see, or have been in denial of, or it's just been hidden from you. If you don't think you've been in denial of something, maybe it's just been hidden from you. Maybe there was deception, or if it's not deception, just been hidden. But I do see you facing things here with this that weren't seen before. So taking action with this night, as you start to take action, if you're aware of what this negative obstacle is, that's holding you back from achieving what you're trying to achieve, if you're aware of what that is, when you start taking action, you're going to realize that this is not that big of a deal. And all sorts of ideas are going to come your way because of it. And more action, more things will start to be able to be. You'll be able to take action in ways you're not even seeing yet. So as you start to take action, new actions will be available to you too because of the new ideas you come up with these 2 threes. Stick with your guns. You got a good idea. People might not agree with you right now on it, but as you start to make changes and shake things up with these nights, you'll be able to make decisions a lot easier, and people will start to see what you're talking about. And people will start agreeing with you. So the 3-card spread. Practice that. A new situation is putting you in a good space in places that people haven't seen before, or other people don't realize. Putting you in a good space on things that people don't understand, but you do. Hidden wisdom. Lots of times people won't agree with the hermit. Maybe you're the only one who sees this as an important thing to do, and other people aren't seeing it. It might make you feel alone. But as you move forward, you're going to put yourself in a stronger place with the king. And the king is a leadership quality. Even though people don't agree with you, doesn't mean you got to sway to their decisions. No, they have to start to see yours. And that choice will be made with the 2 of Pentacles. And people will start agreeing with your choice with the 2 of Pentacles. Stick to your guns with the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Start taking action and you'll overcome this devil. You'll see it's not that tough after all. People will start agreeing with you as things move forward. So, that's with the Rider-Waite. Again, the deck you're using doesn't really make any difference. If you want to use the Rider deck, you want to use the Thoth deck, the Marseilles, Greer, Sacred Rose, any of the newer decks, doesn't make any difference. We're talking about the application here. They all work, all the decks work. It's just a matter of which one you like to use. So again, usually what I'll do is I'll have the client cut the deck into 3 packs. As they're telling me their question, I turn over the top card of each one of those packs, and I hear what they have to say to me. And I'm going to go with the star card here. I like the star. How are we going to accomplish this? How are we going to get what we want to get? Star card. Direction. Finding direction. Another king. The king shows, again, sticking to your principles, sticking to your thinking. Even if people don't agree with you, stick with it. And a confirmation of that, people might not be agreeing with you with the Hermit card. This star card's shining pretty bright. So people might not agree with you right now. You might not be getting too much cooperation. Maybe things are difficult, but that will change. As long as you know what you're doing and what you're talking about, stick with it, because eventually people will see that you were right. Attainment with the 9 of Wands is done because you took action. And people will judge you in a positive way with the Judgment card. Again, right now they might look at you as you're alone with your thinking, but eventually judgment comes around in a positive way for you. Overcoming obstacles with the 6 of Wands. Even though things right now might seem a little vague on your direction on where you're going, it's going to allow you to attain what you're looking for with the 9 of Pentacles. If you practice this at home, getting 3 cards to connect with each other, to make a statement like we're just doing, right? We're doing here. It's a very good way to learn the cards. And whether or not you want to do a cross later on, or a gypsy spread, or some other spread, doesn't make any difference. You start to see how cards connect with each other. And you start to read them pretty fluently. Inspiring thoughts on your part is going to allow you to manifest ideas into realities in a successful way with the 7 of Wands. You'll start to read them like that. Practice the 3-card spread. You're going to like it. You could read professionally with it and just layer it. One 3 cards after the next, and you'll have a lot of fun with that. So the 3-card spread. Hope you like that. Keep throwing cards with us.